Alright, bringing you another Deep Rock Galactic video. So today I want to bring you a collective list of builds that can be used going into Season 2. So I'm going to call this the pre-Season 2 builds that are for new players, returning players, or perhaps players that are just looking to do something that's, these kind of well-rounded, ease-of-use, can't go wrong, they're going to work in Hazard 5 builds. Alright, so before I totally get started on that, I just want to thank some folks that helped me make this, Halvard and Slugger. These guys are really cool. Halvard's very dedicated to the game. He uses Meat Shield, and he coordinates and or converses with the people who contribute to the Wikipedia for Deep Rock Galactic, so he's very knowledgeable, he's very good. Slugger is just the most enthusiastic young man who is very good at the game, and all of us combined, we have 3K hours played, so I think you're getting some good information here, and just as kind of like a fun thing here. Wanted to show you this picture. This is from a couple of weeks ago, but Halvard more or less was kind of piloting this ship, and this is actually a snapshot of Meat Shield here as we were talking in Discord. So we did spend some time putting these together for you. So anywho, let's just try to get into it. I split these up. We got something for each gun. So, and I'm like weirdly going to go C, D, E for the primaries, and I'm going to do C, D, E, if I can even get to an E, for the secondaries. So, here we go. Flamethrower. What's interesting about this one that we chose is that it's more or less meta, so that's just kind of a coincidence than anything. Not all these builds are going to be meta, they're just going to be good builds that will work for you, that can't go wrong. But in this case, it just happens to be that the overclock we used is meta. Sticky Fuel is the best. Now, whether or not these mods are, it's up to you. So, I'll just kind of go a little bit slow. If you don't catch any of these, I'm going to put links in the description, or not links, I'm just going to write it out in the description for you. If I wasn't lazy, I would be doing carl.gg, but guess what? I'm lazy, so I'm just going to copy and paste a notepad in the description for you. So there's the flamethrower. If you want something a little frostier, I can't recommend this enough. Personally, I think if you were going to just choose one gun, going back into Season 2, or continuing, I think the AutoCannon. It's just so easy to use. It's incredibly effective. It's not going to blow up your teammates. The CC is just incredible, and it's insane that the damage is also equally as incredible. I feel like as long as you go with Toon Cooler, you really can't go wrong. I think that's just the most important piece, Toon Cooler. So if maybe you've had enough ice, and you want something a little different, Sludge Pump. I'm not really too familiar with this gun. I very much relied on Halvard and Slugger to kind of help me figure out what is the most all-around. I really couldn't argue one way or the other for this, so thank you to them for kind of figuring out what's good for this gun. I've been meaning to put a lot of time into this, but what I like about this is that they went with a clean overclock, and to me, clean is just generally safe, right? I mean, there's no negatives. So if you're looking for something a little different, something that's kind of good versus dreadnoughts, or like kind of the bigger hurts, I think this is a great setup. So those are the first three primaries. I'm going to go back to C. Let's talk about some secondaries here. So EPC, I love this gun, but this is the all-arounder that I'm going to show off here first. It's going to do some damage, and it's also going to help you do some mining. Another one of these, and I'm going to say this a lot, can't go wrong builds. Persistent is just great. So it's fantastic. Now, if you're wanting to do a little bit, you want to focus more on the mining, and maybe a little bit less on the killing. Maybe you're really utilizing your C4, and I don't know if you're using axes or whatever else you've chosen. Maybe you don't need this as much for the killing. This is great for mining. Faster recharge rate, more ammo. This is just going to help you mine better. So pretty cool there. And last, if you want to use the Subata, I kind of feel like these don't matter too much what you do, but this is all what we decided as what would be the easiest, most well-rounded, most go-to, can't go wrong. I think the automatic fire, though, I think that's the most important piece, is getting this overclock. A full auto is just, it's just cool, and it's good. So, yeah, everybody wins there. I'm not going to talk really about any of this stuff. Just do whatever you think is fun. I personally think Impact Axe is the way to go. there's a gentleman who did a video about why you shouldn't get like the double speed on this. Blah blah blah. He's right. Don't get double speed. Um, and you know whatever you gotta do with your C4 to not kill your teammates. So that's all I would recommend. Okay, so moving on to Scout. We'll start off with C. The GK2. This might be my favorite gun in the game. I love this gun. We kind of came to the conclusion that this is the best, most well-rounded, can't go wrong. And this is kind of meta as well. Bullets of Mercy, I think, is meta right now. This is like the #1. And if it's not, then this is #1. You would build it a little bit differently if you're going to go for that, but I think Bullets of Mercy can't fail. So there's the GK2. Let's go on to the next one, the M1K. Oh man, I love this gun. I didn't used to. I used to hate this gun, but now I don't know. Now I'm a big fanboy. I just can never choose what overclock I like. They're all so good. But this is what we think is best. Yeah, it's just again, can't go wrong. Can't fail with this. Hipster is just incredible. I think a lot of people put this like in an S tier if they're gonna rate them. I still think Hoverclock is S tier just because of how bananas the ability is. But in terms of just raw killing power, yeah, the Hipster is insane. You know, the catch with this is you really don't want to focus fire with this like at all. So you just want to be like single clicking. I would say that if you add a little bit of damage plus this, you can still one-shot web spitters. But this is great. You're gonna have so much ammo. You can't go wrong. And let's switch to another one. The Drak. So definitely not meta here, but ease of use, check. This is gonna be just nice. Can't go wrong. You're gonna do fine with this. It's gonna be easy, no stress. Excellent build, right? Thermal liquid coolant. Oh, it's just nice. This is a nice, you know, a Sunday morning drive. It's great build there. And then let's talk about the secondaries. So I personally like the shotgun, and this is what we kind of agreed upon as being the easiest to use. And this is, I think this is basically meta. Maybe getting damage over ammo would be meta, because jumbo shells really, it lays down the hurt like bad. It's nasty. So I think that's, can't go wrong there. And I guess I didn't change it, but the thing that I think we wanted to say, people love this. I don't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, your mobility goes through the roof. Yeah, you're probably never going to die from a fall again. But once you use this, you cannot go back. It will be very hard to wean yourself off of this. So I personally stay away, but it is incredible. So if you're looking for some mobility, go with this. If you're looking to lay down some hurt, go with that. Alright, let's move on to the last. Okay, so embedded detonators. I think this build is going to be good if you're trying to take out some heavier hitters, you know, some bigger monsters. But the other one is this, which is what I think I wanted to show off. This is Cryo. This is kind of like CC for the Zuks. It's just both of these Dets and Cryo are just incredible. You really can't go wrong using either of these. They're not my favorite. I just like the shotgun, so I can't talk a lot about these. But you know, what they do it well. Okay, so I think that covers Scout. I don't really have anything to say about these. I think IFGs is what's cool, because I think this is cool. This is like an OS button, and it does a lot of other things, but you only get 4 of them, and you get 6 of these, and blah blah blah. This is more objective, blah blah blah. This is, I think, more realistically good. I personally still use these because I'm a noob, but I really don't. Yeah. Alright, so moving on to the gunner. I'll go back to this. So, MiniGun. Alright, so Leadstorm is like meta, right? That just happens to be meta. It's a real butt kicker, but it's, you know, you can't move while shooting it, so it can be a little jarring. But let's just go right into the mods. Now, the mods aren't necessarily meta. We just think that this would be the easiest to use for new and returning players. Or, I don't know, maybe you just want to you just want to use something a little different than what you've been using. So Leadstorm, yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible. That might be the best of all the things that he can do right now. Okay, so AutoCannon. This is my favorite of the guns that the gunner gets, and it's right down the middle. 2-2-2-2-2. This is just going to give you, a decent amount of splash damage here. You could go Carpet Bomber on this if you want, but I actually argued for this because there's just no penalties with this, and we were trying to go for well-rounded ease of use, and I think if you're trying to play with the AutoCannon, this is what you want. Alright, next we're going to go with the Hurricane. Yeah, I had done another video on this one, and it's not terribly different than what was recommended to me. I don't really think you can mess up any of these mods. And this is the overclock that I think you want to go with. If you were wanting to do something maybe a little bit less easier, Salvo's always cool, but still pretty easy. I think this is also good, right? It's not a bad choice. Either one of those options I think is good, and I'll have that in the description for you. Alright, so now let's talk about the secondaries. So the Magnum here, this is Volatile bullets. So I had talked about how I wanted all these guns to kind of more or less like work independently. This one isn't totally reliant, but it is on the... So when you're using Leadstorm, you get a little bit of fire damage. And you might also just want to play it safe, pair this up with... Where is it? This one. Yeah, this is the fire grenade. You want to pair it up with that. But here it is. This is what we all decided would be the go-to, can't go wrong, for new, for returning players. This is good. And the variant that I like more personally is going to be SixShooter with these mods. I think those two are more or less meta. And maybe someone can correct me on that, but I think Volatile and SixShooter are pretty much the go-tos. So these aren't just purely fun builds. These are functioning builds. And if you want to go with the BRT, you like living life on the edge, then this will hopefully help you out. I have tried this gun every now and again, and I just can't hang with it. I just really like the SixShooter on the other one. But there you go. If you're looking to use that, you want something easy, something nice. I can't really comment too much on these. You might want to use the fire grenade, but yeah, I don't really think you can do any of that stuff wrong. All right. Ooh, why did I exit that? And let's go with the last class, the Engineer. And we'll start off with C. And here is the shotgun. So again, ease of use. This is just going to be some bread and buttery. Can't go wrong. It's a little bit nice, a little bit easy. It's going to work in Hazard 5 for you. Again, if I went too fast on any of this, you can just look in the description and I'll have... It should be simple enough. This, I really need to spend more time playing this. I actually kind of like this gun. I know some other folks have said that this kind of makes up for a lot of the things that the Engineer lacks in terms of firepower. I'm not sure about all that, but it really kicks up the fun notch quite a few levels there. I like Executioner personally, but this is... I think if you've never used this gun, yeah, this is going to be awesome. This is just... It's a nice build. And last... So someone actually in the comment section turned me on to this gun. I had written it off completely. When I first started playing this game, it was in 2020, and I don't think it was as good then. But yeah, right down the middle, 2-2-2-2-2, and this overclock. To me, it kind of feels like a shorter ranged, maybe burstier GK2. Maybe someone wants to disagree with that, but that's just how it felt to me. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I was surprised. So, thank you so much for people turning me on to this. I thought that was really cool, and this is just a nice build. It works out real great. Okay, and let's talk about the secondaries. So this might be meta. Yeah, I think Inferno is meta. Now, whether these mods are, I'm not sure. This is just what we determined as at least being easiest. But I think in this case, this actually is meta. I'm like 99% certain that if you go with this, you're using the top tier stuff. Inferno, for a lot of reasons I'm not going to explain, is just broken. It's just really good. Use Meat Shield or any kind of calculator that really can crunch some numbers. This thing just, ouchies, that hurts. So very good there. I think this was my version. Yeah, I think it's what I like. I think if I'm looking at my notes, yeah. So what's different about it? Yeah, maybe that's really not necessary. I don't even know why I do that. But that's an alteration. That's something, a variant. I would really say that you should stick with this though. This is you really can't go wrong with this breach cutter, the Inferno. It's nice. Okay, and the last thing, the PGL. I know, like, oh, you aren't using the nuke. What? No, we're not. We're not killing our teammates. None of that business. I'm not saying that the nuke's not good, but this is just a nice, easy, well-rounded, can't go wrong pack rat, right? Nice clean overclock. This is a nice one. I think most everyone abuses the breach cutter, and for good reason. But if you're wanting to try something else, or maybe you just don't like that gun, yeah, I think this is nice. Okay, so I think that just about wraps it up, right? That's all the classes. I didn't really talk about the perks here too much. Yeah, what can you say? I mean, I don't agree with either of these, but this is meta, this is top tier, this is what everyone uses. They are incredibly good. This is probably the best, if not, yeah, it is. So choosing either of those, everyone will just give you a big thumbs up on that. Thorns is pretty decent. Reloading is pretty decent, and carrying a little bit more minerals can mean less trips to Molly. I've been in a couple games now where, like, we needed that extra 5 or 10 to get the resupply. So, yeah, I think these are just generic. Like, no one's really going to tell you that these are bad, just across the board. So, anywho, I just want to, one last time, just big thank you to Halvard and Slugger for helping me put this together. They talked to me for a good 2 hours about these builds, and they've put a lot of time into the game. They're dedicated. They're very good at the game. And I'm going to have links in the description to their YouTube channels. I think Halvard does some really interesting videos in particular, so definitely check those out. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for more. Season 2 is around the corner, so I wanted to release some builds for people who are new, and or people who are coming back to the game, and or you just, like, I don't know, you just want to try something easy or something different. Yeah, so hopefully soon I can start giving you guys, I may or may not have a plan to play the minute that Season 2 launches and try to get all the secondaries and release some information for you guys. Anywho, thanks again, and as always, stay tuned for more.